was, Brim said that they don't need apples because their stomachs do without them. Do you notice that there was a rule of the death note that was fake, that depending on someone not getting something, if life didn't happen, if life wasn't killed, and Ryu kind of rule that said, if I don't get this apple, I'm going to have apple sickness. Apple sickness was fake. But that's just my opinion. And then finally I get the light. There's a quote, a simple quote that I heard before. It says, the reason humans aren't punished for their sins as soon as they occur by God, because then humans would act from fear and not from virtue. Fear destroys and virtue creates. Virtue is what gives humans the power to create, to bring life, and to do all that they do. Fear just destroys. If you put the whole world in fear, then every single man will have a hand in destroying the world. And that's my comment.
We have about 10 minutes left, so
yep.
Comments in.
Another 15-minute video.
Okay, one small thing about that, as you're saying about, how humans are afraid of God. Simple. God cannot be evil. He can never be evil. So God cannot punish humans. Did you read your... Wait, first of all, no. I can understand that. I know. Here, get me this. Okay, we picture as God as being the good, right? And of course, Satan being evil, right? But they say in the Bible that God is almighty, ultimate. He's supposed to be almighty good. Another thing. Ryu, the thing about Shikigami is that they said they have to kill to live. So in a way, it's not just, something that by society, like their society they have to do. It's their lifestyle. This is something prime, like something animalistic for them. Humans, curiosity, is something from us from being, evolution-wise. Yeah, we got smarter, but we cannot get rid of that simple thing that still makes us creatures, animals. You get me? It's kind of like, yeah, I see a book. It says, write the name of a person and don't kill him. Oh my God, it's like a bunny seeing something shiny, or a deer jumping in front of a jeep. It's like, oh my God, I see something shiny. I want someone to touch it. I'm here, let me see. You get me? It's not like, something society, brought up. It's something that we had from the beginning. You get me? So it's like, you can't really say it's good or evil. You get me? It's nature.
Who's shiny on that? I do want to mention something because you said, okay, God could be like the expectation is to assume that they're going to be good. But does anyone know any about Greek mythology? Exactly. Anyone know about Greek mythology? As just subjective as morally as humans are, but then they're just the ones who get the rules. So that's just one thing, but I understand what you're saying.
All right, to do away with all the discussion of God and morality, that's a teleology. Your ethics are handed down from above. You have no agency in your ethics, so it's irrelevant to the discussion of ethics right here. That has nothing to do with ethics because that's with regards to the symbolism of the text, not the ethical considerations of the character. With regards to human nature, your comment about the who's shiny, that presupposes that humans have virtue, and that presupposes that God created humans with virtue. Another teleology, irrelevant to an ethical discussion. However, he has a point with the who's shiny. That's a discussion of human nature and not one of ethics. If you say humans are inherently curious, then that presupposes that humans are inherently required to go who's shiny at everything, which means we would never live because we'd be constantly who's shiny, who's shiny, who's shiny, who's shiny.
Aristotle calls it the difference between man and animal as man has intelligent agency. By you saying everything is ooh shiny with regards to human action, removes the intelligence as human agency, and ethics goes out the window, which puts us on the level of animals, beasts, things like that. Again, ethics out the window. So basically,
And then where do you put God?
Ryuk and the Shinigami are absent morality because their morality is an teleology handed down from the Shinigami king. And so, again, pretty much you're trying to follow human morality to an inhuman being, which is impossible, and a cognitive dissonance. So you cannot say that human morality applies. It's like applying human morality to God, which is why you can't say God is good or evil. That would negate the position of God as Satan is represented as the absent, as the inverse to God's moral. So he is evil. Yeah. See, again, that's a teleology, which is why you can't say God.
Okay, yeah, we have like 5 minutes. 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Oh, dear. What, can you guys keep it short? It's something that has been said before. It's totally original thought. Okay.
He's the only one that went against what Mel said. He said, oh, don't do this, but he went and talked and listened in on the group of people that he thought were talking to Kira.
Yeah.
And so he went against it, and then he threw himself off the mountain.
If you think about it, light is kind of good because after you die, time starts going off your own. So you just get to the line.
Right, that's, by the way you said that I was something more effective, because in a way, that says he sort of accomplished his goal, but then like, I guess ethics in that situation is thrown out the window. But he was effective. I do have a question for you guys. Okay, remember how you did talk about ethical relativism? Or, like, how do you have this like discussion? Like, because not everyone, no, like how do you have an ethical discussion without relativism?
Can I have my
Yes. Okay. But, like, you have a strong academic background and not all of us do, so like.
To have a discussion on ethics without bringing relativism into it, you have to basically you have to deny teleologies, which means God made that to go out the window, and you have to think of it as society versus society rather than ethics versus ethics, and you have to weigh the potential merits of society. Usually, when we have ethical discussions, they're couched in the position of is this action ethical rather than is this system of ethics ethical, which removes the relativism, because if you're discussing, well, if this action is ethical under this system and so on and so forth, it's like, yeah, well, in order to have a purely ethical debate, you have to deny relativism to begin with, or you have to have the debate within a certain sphere of ethics. Like you can compare pragmatism to utilitarianism because they're both concerned with ends justifying means. It's just the amount of people whose ends you're